Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. Have you ever wondered about the stories behind different singers and entertainers who have been rejected or missed out on major acting roles? I have, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it in this video because there are some interesting stories here. This is just an interesting fun fact video. First, I want to start off by talking about Chaka Khan. Did you know that Chaka Khan was supposed to play Celie in The Color Purple? But she passed up on the opportunity because she was afraid.
Well, you know, I turned down The Color Purple, the movie.
What?
Yeah, what's his name? The guy,
Steven Spielberg,
yes.
right? Yes.
Yeah, he came to me and he said he wanted me to do this movie, Color Purple. I was about, how old was I? Maybe 20, 22 tops. So I was like trying to run from that because I didn't, you know, I was afraid. I was like, oh God, a movie? Oh my God. You know, I said, oh, that means I have to learn the script. I have to,
No. Hey, do you know who you were gonna play?
Yeah, they wanted me to be Celie.
Celie?
Yeah.
Imagine Chaka Khan and Celie, y'all.
The role of Celie would end up going to Whoopi Goldberg, who did win a Golden Globe for Best Actress in The Color Purple. She also got an Oscar nomination for Best Actress. And The Color Purple would go on to be a major production. So that was a pretty big opportunity that Chaka passed up on. Another fun fact, did you all know that Diana Ross was originally supposed to play Rachel Marron in the movie The Bodyguard? It's actually true. Before Whitney Houston got the role, Diana was up for the role. And there's actually an interesting story behind all of this. The filmmakers Lawrence Kasdan and John Boorman pitched the idea for Diana to star as the diva Rachel alongside the actor Ryan O'Neal. Now, around this time, Ryan and Diana had a love affair, okay? And Ryan was trying to appease Diana. He was trying to buy her gifts and trying to win her affection so she could be more cooperative and play the role. But really, he was doing all of this to use her. He didn't really like her for real, but he wanted her to do the movie. But Diana was very, very picky about this movie. It was reported that they wanted her to do some nude scenes, but she was completely against it, which is understandable. Ryan O'Neal said in his book, Diana was difficult and opinionated. All she did was complain about the script. We went through 3 screenplays. It would have been one thing if none of the scripts were good, but they were excellent. I eventually got fed up with her imperiousness, and we never did do the picture. So Diana was said to be too difficult to film the movie, but I think from her perspective, she was justified in not wanting to do the violent scenes and the nude scenes. She was one of the biggest female entertainers in the 70s, and she wasn't a novice when it came to acting. She definitely had her standards, and she wouldn't just accept anything or be portrayed any way in a film. So she was very particular about it. And also, this was an interracial romance story. So in the 70s, that wasn't common at all. So it was a risky undertaking. So Diana eventually turned the movie down and it never got a chance to be filmed. And Ryan was very upset about this, and his relationship with Diana ended on a very sour note. He actually ghosted her. He was really that upset that she turned the film down. And this actually left Diana heartbroken because she really liked him. But yeah, that's just a little interesting story behind that. But years later, the movie ended up falling into Kevin Costner's lap, and Kevin earnestly wanted Whitney Houston to star alongside him in the movie. And he waited for over a year to get her to agree. After Whitney finished her I'm Your Baby Tonight world tour, she thought about it for a while and eventually accepted the role. And when she did, she and Kevin grew very close on the set, and it was rumored that Kevin may have had feelings for Whitney, but that's another story for another time. Either way, Whitney joined the cast, but at first she wasn't eager to join the movie because she was actually a little insecure about her acting skills.
Whitney told me that before The Bodyguard, she had turned down a lot of movie offers, including Dreamgirls and the Josephine Baker story. She felt she wasn't ready to tackle acting, but Kevin Costner changed her mind.
And the combination of the presence that Whitney had with never being in a movie made everything worth the risk in my mind. In fact, so much so that I postponed the movie for a year to wait for her.
If anything, I felt like can I do this movie? Can I really pull this movie off? I mean, I'm playing opposite Kevin Costner. I mean, he's well-trained and all that kind of stuff, and he knows what he's doing. He's done a zillion movies. I mean, how am I going to stand up against this thing, And I think I felt more insecure than I did the pressure of doing this film.
Whitney ended up filming The Bodyguard, and it was a groundbreaking role for her. The movie grossed over $400 million in the box office, and The Bodyguard soundtrack, which included the mega hit I Will Always Love You, sold over 45 million copies worldwide. The movie was a huge success, and it had Hollywood scrambling to get Whitney to star in their next films. Whitney was considered to star in the remake of A Star Is Born, and she was also offered the role of Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It, which ended up going to Angela Bassett. Whitney was offered a lot of roles that she turned down, but she did get more comfortable acting, and she went on to star in movies like The Preacher's Wife, Waiting to Exhale, and Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella, which also starred Brandy. And Whitney Houston handpicked Brandy to be a part of the film.
Someone who probably had a lot more energy and who really was Cinderella to me should play the part, and I suggested Brandy.
She called me one day all hype. I was like, what's going on, Whitney? And she's like, I got this project. Deborah and I have this project, and we want you to do this movie called Cinderella. We want you to play Cinderella. And I said, I thought you were going to be Cinderella. She's like, I'm 33 now. I'm not quite feeling like Cinderella. No, honey, I'm not going to be Cinderella. I want you to be Cinderella.
She said under one condition, that I was her fairy godmother.
Getting the role of Cinderella was a big deal for Brandy because she was the first African-American princess to be portrayed in any Disney-related projects. Also, the role was very fitting for her image. In the 90s, Brandy was a wholesome teenage icon, so any role that she did play had to fall in line with her image. If it didn't align with her image, she would turn it down. It was rumored that she turned down the role in the classic movie Set It Off. She was supposed to play Titi, who was a young single mother who joined a band of her friends to rob a bank. According to iloveoldschoolmusic.com, Brandy allegedly turned down the film because of the mature nature of it. She was only 17 at the time, and she was very conscious of her image. So the role ended up going to another upcoming actress named Kimberly Elise. Brandy did, however, contribute to the movie's soundtrack and sang on the song Missing You, which also featured Gladys Knight, Chaka Khan, and Tamia. Moving on to another fun fact, Janet Jackson was actually approached to play the role of Trinity in the first Matrix movie, but she eventually turned it down because it clashed with her touring schedule. She told Wonderland magazine, "There was a time when I met the Wachowski brothers to do The Matrix a long time ago, but there were conflicts. I wanted to kick somebody's butt, anybody's. As long as I got to kick somebody's butt, kick a new hole in their butt, rip them a new butthole, I'd love to do that." Janet Jackson didn't get a chance to play Trinity in the Matrix movie because of her touring schedule. The role ended up going to Carrie-Anne Moss instead. Another fun fact, Janet was supposed to play Lena Horne in her biopic. This wouldn't be the first time Janet sought out to play a legendary Hollywood starlet. She also wanted to play Dorothy Dandrige. Before I get into these stories, I first want to thank Sonic Bonnet for sponsoring this video. The Sonic Bonnet is not your everyday bonnet. It's a luxuriously silky bonnet with the power of Bluetooth technology. Built into its breathable elastic headband are a set of Bluetooth earphones, so you could start, pause, and play sounds from your phone, answer calls, and more, all with a tap of a button. The Sonic Bonnet is the perfect companion for your daily self-care and hair care routine. Once you tuck your hair into its comfortable, silky head cap, you'll be sold. Indulge yourself in this nightly beauty regimen and sleep soundly and sweetly with your favorite sleep sounds, music, podcasts, and audiobooks. And guess what? You'll never have to worry about losing your earbuds. The Sonic Bonnet earphones are USB chargeable with over a 3 nights charge and are easily removed and replaced for when you want to wash your bonnet. This self-care is for the mind, body, and hair. Treat yourself to a Sonic Bonnet today at sonicbonnet.com, and while you're at it, grab a gift for a friend or a loved one. I honestly can't think of a cuter gift. Take advantage of the free US shipping on all orders over $50 now at sonicbonnet.com. Once again, I want to thank Sonnet Bonnet for partnering with me and sponsoring this video. Now, Janet really wanted to play Dorothy Dandrige, but the competition to play Dorothy was super intense. Several major Black female entertainers had their eyes on the role, including Halle Berry, Whitney Houston, and Vanessa Williams. The role, however, ended up going to Halle Berry.
This is scary because, you know, so many other people wanted to do it, so there was a lot of pressure going behind.
Lots of people wanted to do it.
Lots of people, like really famous, wonderful people wanted to do it.
Lots of women. I mean, there was a whole big Ebony cover story on who was going to get it. How'd you get it?
Whitney won it. How did you get it?
No, not that. But Whitney did. I heard that Diana Ross had it, and Janet Jackson wanted it.
Williams.
All the divas
The
wanted
big
it.
misconception was this. Everybody thought there was one role to be had. But what really the case was that different women had different rights to different books. I had the rights to a book that Earl Mills wrote. Whitney has Donald Bogle's book. Janet has her autobiography. And what the race was to see which woman would get their project done first. It wasn't one role. Like, I didn't take anything from Whitney. I just got my project that I produced done before she did hers. That's all. Maybe she'll still do hers.
Yes.
Halle got the role of Dorothy and she did a great job. Janet, however, did not get her Dorothy project off the ground quick enough, but she wasn't going to pass up another opportunity to play a Hollywood icon. She wanted to play Lena Horne. According to Shadow and Act, she was announced to produce and play Lena in a miniseries, and she was set to re-record some of her songs. The head of ABC's miniseries and movies, Quinn Taylor, said, "I can't think of a more ideal casting. Janet Jackson and Lena Horne, it's like peanut butter and jelly." Lena Horne, however, did not want Janet to play her, and it was all because of Janet's Super Bowl controversy in 2004. After Janet finished off her Super Bowl performance and exposed one of her breasts, she got a lot of backlash, not only from the CBS network, but backlash from viewers as well. Janet was blackballed from Viacom, and networks like VH1 and MTV stopped playing her videos and her music. The head of CBS at the time, Les Moonves, was trying to make Janet's life a living hell. Her reputation was tainted a lot, to the point that some people didn't want anything to do with her. Lena Horne was one of those people. When she found out that Janet would be playing her in a biopic, she balked at the idea. It was reported that she and her daughter, Gail Buckley, asked Janet not to take part in the miniseries. Other reports say that Janet tried to reach out to them to have a conversation about it, but they didn't want to talk to her. Janet took the hint and she ended up walking away from the project as a whole. And that was unfortunate because Janet was pretty excited about doing the project, but she at least respected the wishes of Lena and her daughter. Till this day, Lena Horne's biopic has not been done, but it was rumored that Alicia Keys was once a contender for the role. Moving on to some other fun quick facts. Did you know that Solange Knowles was supposed to play Aqua in the Cheetah Girls? Yes, she was actually one of the original Cheetah Girls, and I did talk about this in my Cheetah Girl video some years ago. The actress Sabrina Bryan, who played Dorinda in the movie, confirmed this.
And Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister, she was originally cast as Aqua. So they brought us in with Adrian and with Raven, and at that time, Solange Knowles was hired for Aqua.
Solange didn't get a chance to do the Cheetah Girls because she was focusing on her own solo music career. The executive producer of the film, Deborah Martin Chase, told International Business Times that Solange's father, Matthew Knowles, didn't think that Solange would be able to balance promoting her album and also doing the film at the same time. So Solange ended up pulling out of the movie. Keely Williams ended up being her replacement, and the Cheetah Girls went on to be a very successful franchise on the Disney network. I guess you could say it was a missed opportunity for Solange, but she still went on to act in other movies, and she also went on to have a successful career as an indie music artist. Moving on to another interesting fact, Nicki Minaj was supposed to be in the movie The Lottery Ticket alongside Bow Wow, and she was supposed to play the seductive character Nikki Swayze. Now, back in 2010, Nicki was just starting to make a lot of buzz in her music career, and taking a role in a movie would have been great exposure for her, and Bow Wow wanted her to be a part of the movie. He said, to be honest, Nicki was close to being the character Nicki in the movie. I called Nicki and told her, I think you would be dope for the role. I thought Nicki did a good job, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Nicki auditioned, but she lost her role to Tierra Mari. It was only a minor setback though, because Nicki would continue to elevate in her music career, and she would lend her acting talents to other bigger projects like The Other Woman, Barbershop The Next Cut, and Ice Age Continental Drift. I have even more fun facts, but you'll have to watch part 2 to see it. But anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.